At 3 in the morning, one unanswered message can feel like proof that your whole life is wrong. Why does the same thought feel manageable in daylight and enormous in the dark? There is an hour when the world seems to lose its witnesses. The streets are quiet. The house has stopped making sense. The ceiling looks closer than it did at midnight. And suddenly, a thought you handled all day stands at the foot of the bed like it has been waiting for you. The message you didn't answer, the bill you forgot, the conversation you replayed badly, the future. Your body is still, but your mind is walking room to room, turning on every light, and somehow everything feels worse. Why? If this happens to you, you are not broken. You are not dramatic. You are not uniquely bad at being alone with your mind. You are in very good company. There are people all over the world lying awake at this same strange hour, convinced that something has gone wrong inside them. But often, nothing has gone wrong. Something old is happening, something deeply human. The night is changing the shape of the room, and the room is changing the shape of the thought. The question is not just, why am I awake? That question is too small. The better question is, why does the same thought feel manageable at 2 in the afternoon and unbearable at 3 in the morning? Why can a practical problem become a prophecy? Why can one unanswered message become evidence that you are unloved? Why can one mistake become your entire identity? At 3 a.m., the mind often stops asking, "What happened?" and starts asking, "What if this means everything?" That is the mystery. Not that we think at night, but that night can make thought feel like truth. Imagine an airport after the last flight has left. The lights are still on, but the crowds are gone. The shops are closed. The departure boards keep glowing, even though no one is going anywhere. And then, one by one, all the delayed flights begin to arrive. The plane that was supposed to land at noon, the one stuck circling for hours, the one nobody had time to meet. They come in late, too late, and the airport, empty now, has to receive them all. That is 3 a.m. It is the airport after the last flight. Everything delayed finally arrives. All day your mind is managing traffic, work, errands, messages, people, noise, a body to feed, a face to hold together. You move from one thing to the next, and your thoughts do what thoughts often do when they are inconvenient. They wait. The worry waits. The grief waits. The small humiliation waits. The thing you do not have language for waits. Not because your mind is cruel, because your mind is busy. Daylight is full of interruptions. Someone asks you a question. A kettle boils. A meeting starts. A car passes. A dog barks. A screen lights up. The world keeps proving that there is a world. But at 3 a.m., most of the world has withdrawn. No one is asking anything of you. No one is confirming your place in the day. There are fewer sounds, fewer signals, fewer reminders that life is larger than the problem in your head. So the delayed flights come in, and because the airport is empty, each arrival sounds enormous. A thought lands and echoes. A memory lands and echoes. a fear lands and echoes. This is why 3 a.m. can feel so persuasive, not because the thought has become wiser, but because there is less around it, less daylight, less contact, less context, less evidence that tomorrow is still possible. At night, the mind can mistake silence for certainty. It can mistake aloneness for abandonment. It can mistake tiredness for truth. And this is why people say nothing good happens at 3 a.m. It is not because 3 a.m. is evil. It is because 3 a.m. is unstaffed. There is no ordinary world there to help sort arrivals. No friend across the table. No walk outside. No small task. No casual proof that you are still part of something. Just you, the dark, and a thought that finally found an empty runway. So maybe this is the sentence to carry gently. The thought is not bigger at 3 a.m. The room around it is emptier. That is the O. The fear may not be more true. The regret may not be more important. The future may not be more doomed. It may simply be arriving in the 1 hour when nothing else is there to meet it. Now we can talk about the science. Slowly. Because the science does not replace the feeling. It explains why the feeling has such force. Around the middle of the night, your body is deep in its circadian low point. Core body temperature drops. Alertness is lower. The systems that help you plan, compare, and regulate are not operating the way they do in daylight. This does not mean you are irrational. It means you are using a night mind to solve a day problem. And the night mind has different lighting. There is also the chemistry of stress. For many people, cortisol begins to rise in the early morning hours, preparing the body to wake. Usually, this is quiet, but if you are under pressure, or if something unresolved is already active, that early shift can feel like alarm. The body begins to prepare for morning before the mind is ready for it. So you wake with a sense that something is happening. Then the mind looks for a reason, and it often finds the nearest fear. This is where catastrophizing can begin. The brain is a prediction machine. It tries to complete the story with the information available. But at 3 a.m., the information available is limited. No sunlight, no conversation, no movement, no feedback. So the mind fills in the missing world with threat. There is another piece. Unfinished things tend to stay active in the mind. Psychologists often call this the Zeigarnik effect. An open loop wants closure, a task unfinished, a question unanswered, a relationship unclear, a decision postponed. During the day, those loops may sit in the background. At night, when fewer things compete for attention, they rise. And the brain's default mode network, the system involved in memory, self-reflection, and imagining the future, can become more active when we are not focused on the outside world. So there you are, still, dark, disconnected from the ordinary signals of the day, and the mind begins to wander through the archive. Past mistakes, future danger, old longing, things you never got to say, things no one said back. This is not weakness. It is a mind trying to process without enough company, without enough context, without enough light. The science, in the end, is strangely tender. It says, of course it feels worse then. Your body is low. Your guard is thin. Your world is quiet. And the unfinished things have finally found you. So return to the person in the bed, the one staring at the ceiling, the one convinced that the thought means something terrible. Maybe it is 3:17. Maybe the phone is face down because looking at it feels dangerous. Maybe the house is making those small sounds houses make when they are the only thing awake with you. And the thought arrives again. You should have known. You should have answered. You should have become someone different by now. In that moment, it may help to remember the airport. This is not a courtroom. This is not a verdict. This is the hour when delayed things land. And if a fear has arrived, you do not have to board it. You do not have to follow it to its final destination. You can notice it. You can say, quietly, this came in late. And sometimes that is enough to create a little space between you and the announcement board. Tonight, if you wake in that hour, try one small thing. Not a routine, not a strategy, just one question. Put a hand somewhere steady, your chest, your blanket, the edge of the mattress, and ask, what arrived late? That is all. Not, how do I fix my life? Not, what does this mean? Just, what arrived late? A name, a task, a fear, a sentence. Let it be simple. Let the mind point without having to solve. Because sometimes understanding begins when we stop treating every 3 a.m. thought like an emergency and start treating it like an arrival. Before you leave, ask yourself one question. What is the one thought your mind is still trying to carry tonight? If you want to understand what your own mind is carrying tonight, we built a 1-minute reflection called Find Your Open Loop. It's free, it's private, and it's made to help you see what your evening is holding on to. The link's right below.